it. Can I just, look at it for a minute?
You're an artist, Sid.
You're telling me you're just gonna walk out of here and I'm never gonna see it again?
There's a good chance of that, yes.
Most guys, for the first one, they start with something small. Mom, girlfriend's initials, something like that. Not you. You get a full set of sleeves all in a couple of months. It takes guys a few years to get the ink you got.
I don't have a few years. Wish to hell I did. Open it.
We can't. The branch manager's not here.
Where is he?
It's lunchtime. He's at White Castle.
White Castle.
It's a fast food restaurant. They serve those little square burgers.
I know what it is. I'm not playing games. Open it.
Sir, you have $500,000 cash in your bag. Don't you think it would be better?
Put down your weapon! Put down your weapons now!
Rarely I find it incumbent that you see the inside of a prison cell.
I'm looking for someone. A guy named Lincoln Burrows.
Man killed the vice president's brother.
Why you want to see Burrows so bad anyhow?
Because he's my brother. I'm getting you out of here.
It's impossible.
Not if you design the place it isn't.
You've seen the blueprints.
Better than that. I've got him on me. I'm getting my brother out of here. Tonight. And I need your help.
You're asking me to break the law.
I'm asking you to make a mistake. Forget to lock up. Leave the door unlocked when you leave tonight. The inmates, I'm breaking out. And you're gonna make sure my brother goes with me. We're through.
Michael Schofield is a highly intelligent civil engineer who has a brother that was imprisoned for a murder he didn't commit. Therefore, Michael meticulously masterminds an escape plan that turned out to be successful. Biography. Michael Schofield was born on October 10, 1974. At a young age, he and his brother Lincoln Burrows were left like orphans. They were placed with a foster family in which the foster parent abused Michael by leaving him locked in a closet and beating him all the time. Due to those physical abuses, Michael developed a medical condition known as low latent inhibition, where the brain is more open to incoming stimuli in the surrounding environment. His brother cared for him, but he was almost all the time away because he was older and was trying to find some kind of income to get his brother out of there. Lincoln was able to pay for Michael's studies, even though his way wasn't the best ones to get the money. Michael graduated with a degree in civil engineering. After Lincoln was wrongfully accused of murder and sentenced to death, Michael was determined to save his brother's life and get him out of jail. With Michael's supernatural intelligence, he designed a tattoo of Fox River Penitentiary's blueprints in order to have every pathway possible for the perfect escape. He faked a bank robbery and asked to be taken to the same prison where his brother was. Emotional intelligence. Michael Schofield is aware that he can't get too emotional because it would interfere with his plan of getting his brother out of jail. While he is in jail, Michael falls for his doctor, but in order for him to achieve his goals and focus on what is important at that moment, he learns to manage his emotions. By knowing that his brother needs his help, Michael uses that as motivation to keep himself going and focused on meeting his goal, proving he is emotionally intelligent. Goals. Michael Schofield is extremely goal-oriented. His main goal is to find his brother in jail and help him escape. Because Lincoln, Michael's brother, looked after Michael and did so much for him when he was a child, Michael swore to help Lincoln get out of jail and save him from his death sentence. Michael's short-term goals were to get his hands on the blueprints of the jail where his brother was and to get himself into jail. When he succeeded in doing so, he was completely determined to achieve his main goal. Nothing would stop Michael from getting to his brother. Green and global citizen. We are all citizens of planet Earth. Therefore, we should care about the common good as well as our own and make choices that reflect that concern. Being an extreme improviser, Michael has characteristics of a green citizen. While in prison, he would use any material he could find, whether it was garbage or anything useless to others, in order to create tools that were necessary for the escape. Michael not only conserved resources, but he was also understanding of others' perspectives. He was a good listener and considered others' points of view. Anger management. Anger is a basic human emotion that we all experience from time to time, and sometimes to the level of losing control of our behavior, ending up being aggressive. Anger is majorly caused by stress and irritability. Michael Schofield didn't show his anger frequently. He was mostly angered at himself and continuously blamed himself for what happened to others around him. He showed anger sometimes, but it was all part of his original escape plan. He learned how to manage his emotions throughout his captivity in prison in order to keep his plan in secret. Michael got frustrated whenever he was blocked from reaching his major goal. There are factors that indicate if a person is prone to become aggressive, even though it is something unexpected and happens suddenly. These factors are having witnessed violence in the home as a child, having been physically abused in childhood, a previous history of violent behavior, a history of harming animals as a child, and brain damage. Michael used deep breathing as a technique of meditation whenever he felt stressed. It improved his optimism and empathy for others. Leadership style. Michael Schofield was an alpha male. He was the leader and the mastermind of the series. He was the decision maker, although he also considered others' opinions. He had the autocratic leadership style because it was vital for him to maintain control among the criminals he was involved with. His decisions had to be respected, or the person against it had to leave the group. Strengths. Michael Schofield in Prison Break shows his intelligence and confidence in solving problems. He had the ability to persuade people by blackmailing and gaining others' trust. Also, he used his knowledge and skills to achieve his goals in the prison. He developed improvisation techniques by building a second plan anytime he created a new one. He acquired creative abilities to design his secret tattoo that other people couldn't interpret. Paradigm. Schofield didn't believe in a specific religion, but his paradigm is mostly based on Christianity. He was a humanitarian and compassionate person willing to help others. He was more concerned with other people's well-being than his own. Paradigm shift. Life in prison for Michael shifted his perspectives in life. In order to solve his problems, he had to experience a paradigm shift. For example, before, Michael was a workaholic and did not enjoy life. Then, after his experience in prison, Michael started to appreciate and live his life to the fullest. Challenge. Michael faced a lot of challenges in order to accomplish his goals. His first challenge was to gather the courage to intentionally get himself arrested and placed in the same jail where his brother was. The second challenge was to become friends with most of the criminals in the jail. Last but not least, he had to find a different escape route when the first one he had planned failed. Accomplishments. In every episode, Michael had a specific objective in which building an escape route was the first and most important task of his day. He became a prisoner of Fox River Penitentiary. Then he gained the confidence of all the prisoners he would have to be involved with in the future because of their positions. Self-esteem issues. Due to Michael's medical condition and the abuse experienced during childhood, he developed self-esteem issues. Michael cared more for others than for himself, almost to the point of having no self-worth. By being that way, he was able to sacrifice his freedom to save his brother's life. Not only his brother's, but his best friend, Sukri and Sarah, the doctor he fell in love with. He constantly blamed himself for the fate of others and forgot his own problems. Even though Michael had low self-esteem, he unconsciously used those characteristics to focus on his main goal. Interpersonal skills. Communicating with high-profile convicts is a very difficult task, but Michael managed to communicate effectively with most of them. He was able to find their weaknesses and use that to his advantage, which helped him control their emotions. He also developed a good relationship with the warden of the prison, making him another victim of Michael's major plan. He was able to solve any conflict in a civilized way and didn't like to see or presence abusive behavior. Workplace issues. Even though the series started with Michael getting himself into prison and no work at his company was showed, he had different jobs inside Fox River, which were also part of his escape plan. Most of his co-workers were the people that would eventually get out of there with him. His main issues was to maintain his plan in secret while getting the other prisoners involved in the excavations of the hole that would lead to the escape tunnel. Being involved with killers and dangerous convicts caused him to lose a toe. Handling of eustress and distress. Michael experienced eustress as soon as he decided to intentionally imprison himself. This type of stress brought spice and excitement to Michael's life compared to his life before. With the right amount of arousal, Michael was able to perform the task he had planned. Each time a plan didn't work out, his level of arousal raised and his stress was less manageable. This is when anxiety takes place and becomes a negative type of stress, which is also called distress. Conclusion. Even in the most difficult situations, Michael was always optimistic. Every day in prison, Michael would tell Lincoln not to worry because they would be able to escape and find the person who framed him. As proof of Michael's effectiveness, he reaches his goals and saves his brother from death sentence.